Hello and welcome to Time Troopers. Today we're going to be looking at mission 8.3, Shoot the Messenger. As always, you should begin by reading the mission infill so you're aware of the story and what's going on. There's a lot of cards in play, so as always, let's look at how we set up the decks. So we'll start by taking out our dice. We need the black dice, so we will take our timeline dice and the black dice. Of course, we're going to need our tokens and our time dial as well. To build the local deck, we're going to need A1, M1 to M9, G1 to G6, and just W1. So let's go ahead and get those cards from the Mongolian Empire. As if by magic, there's the deck I need. Cards I don't need, we'll place back in here. We'll also take our Trooper deck and place that here for now. And that's everything we need from the box, so we'll just go ahead and set that to one side. Okay, so let's have a look at the setup. So, starting from left to right, we have our local deck, our trooper deck. We choose which trooper we want in play. First, let's set this up. So we need A1, W1, and G1. So G1, W1, and A1. And the rest of the deck we can shuffle and put in here, because we can also see that these cards we need at the top, M4 and M3. So M4 is a jade carving, which is the attachment we're after. And M3 is the messenger. We'll come on to that in a little bit more detail. We also have M1, which is the map card, which we'll place over here. Let's just move these out of the way. And we have the horse, which I'll just set over here for now, because we'll need to explain what that card does in a little while. So we have the setup ready. It's all the same. We're ready to go. We just have to choose our trooper. So for this instance, I'll just choose the first one that comes out. Let's pick Pally, and he starts in the deployment zone. And we will draw 5, discard 1, and start with 3 time tokens. So hopefully you know how to do this by now. The 5 cards we've drawn. We will discard 1. Now let's discard Tempest Fugit, and that would be our starting hand. So let's place this here, as though we were about to start. Okay, so looking at the mission brief, we need to defeat Genghis Khan, which is card G1. We need to catch the messenger and get the artifact. Success. Defeat Genghis Khan and catch up to the messenger to take the artifact. Fail. 3 troopers are defeated, or the messenger escapes by placing 12 tokens on the map card. So we have to do 2 things. We have to defeat Genghis Khan and we have to remove tokens from this map card. Special rules. M3, the messenger. At the end of each round, place a token on the map card. This is the distance the messenger is getting away. When a trooper is on horseback, place 2 tokens on this card. 12 tokens equals escape. Okay, so we're going to read the instructions for the horse card, and then I'll explain a little bit more about what's going on. Horse card. Once in play, add 1 trooper already in play onto the horse card. Set to the side opposite M1, which is over here. This trooper can only stealth the map card and cannot take part in the combat zone. They are chasing the messenger on horseback, separate from the combat zone. Okay, so what's going on here is, if you've read the story, you'll understand there's a messenger who's trying to get away with the artifact, and we have to chase him down, but we're also fighting this army. So there's 2 missions in one going on here. We have to build an army to defeat Genghis Khan, but at the same time, we can't afford to let the messenger get too far away. So in the local deck is this horse card. And you'll see here it says attached to a trooper. Move next to the map card and messenger. Only the trooper on horse may stealth the map card. So what will happen is this card will obviously be shuffled and be in here. We cannot catch the messenger until we find this horse card. So let's, for instance, say it comes out in one of the slots here, as normal. And we roll a 3. Then we would take the horse card. We would set it aside here. And we would choose one of our troopers in play, has to be in play. So let's say we take Kiwi. We've placed Kiwi on top of the horse. Kiwi is now chasing the messenger down, and the rest of our team are fighting. Genghis Khan and his army. So you will have interactions with the army with this side of the board, and you'll have interactions with the messenger just through Kiwi. At the end of every round, we will place one token, as it says in the instructions, on the map card. Once Kiwi is on horseback, or any other trooper is on horseback, at the end of a round, we place 2 tokens on there. Now when it's Kiwi's turn, the only thing he can do is stealth, so he will stealth for 2, plus 2, so that would be 4, which would mean we'd remove 4 tokens. If this ever gets down to 0, which it is now, because Kiwi's done a great job and we've had a good dice roll, then we've essentially caught the messenger up. So what would happen then is we would set all of these cards to one side, as it tells us in the instructions, and Kiwi now has the jade carving. So that part of the mission is performed. We would still need to defeat Genghis Khan. Likewise, if we ever defeated Genghis Khan and he left play, if we'd not caught the messenger at that point, we would still continue to play as normal, because there's a chance that Genghis Khan could come back into play. So you have to keep an eye on both sides of the board here. Something else to be aware of is Genghis Khan himself. So, inevitable is his strength. When Genghis Khan is in play, the cost to reroll the timeline die is doubled, so it costs 2 time tokens now to reroll the timeline die. That's something to be mindful of, because obviously if the horse doesn't come into play, you can't put a trooper on it and you can't catch the messenger. So you may think, oh well, I'll just save lots of time, and then when the horse does come, I'll just re-roll until I find it. Of course, a re-roll now costs 2 time tokens, so you have to be very mindful of that. Very tough to do. Okay, so the final thing it says on here is map card M1, remove tokens equal to the stealth result of the trooper on horseback, which we just went through. When M1 is clear, set aside M1 to M4 and the trooper on horseback. So that's what we've already covered. So it's quite simple when you get to the bottom of it. There's 2 separate things going on. One of your troopers has to catch the messenger and get the jade carving, and the other set of your troopers have to defeat Genghis Khan. Good luck!